gonna go see my place at this little gallery. It's like a little gallery space.
It's not a very well-known gallery, is it?
Some people know it. Some people might know it.
It's the people in the know. The people who know, they know, right?
I sound like an asshole.
This is my friend, Julio Salgado. For all intents and purposes, he's no asshole. At the moment, we're in a lift on our way over to the Smithsonian, where he has a piece displayed up on one of its walls. It's a pretty big deal for him, but to be fair, if you were an undocumented artist, joining the very few other undocumented artists in the Smithsonian, you'd be ecstatic too. I've known Julio for about 15 years, and we've been collaborating as artists for just as long. As a videographer, he invited me to come along and document this part of his journey. Unfortunately, his family couldn't accompany him to this particular show. This video is dedicated to them. So, what'd you think?
It was a trip. It was a trip, especially when we started talking and I see the Chipotle across the street.
Did you imagine that you would even be here?
Man, 10 years ago I was trying to make ends meet at. I did a lot of this art while working at Chipotle. What the fuck? To go see your art for the first time at the Smithsonian, not bad. It felt like a big fuck you to people who don't want us to be our full selves. To have my art in this place while I'm still alive, I was tripping. I was, big time.
Now that's the face of someone who feels accomplished, and rightfully so. But wait. We gotta rewind real quick. We gotta tell the story of how Julio ended up right here.
My name is Julio Salgado and I was born in Ensenada, Mexico. I was always the kid who was drawing in the back of the room and kids would be like, oh my God, you can draw, let's be friends. My parents were always super supportive. I started taking art classes in community college. I ended up seeing a flyer for my school newspaper where they were looking for a political cartoonist. And I was like, I can do that. How hard could that be? I was in a school newspaper. It taught me about discipline and like deadlines and the power of political art. I transferred to Cosby Long Beach. I was the Daily 49er. That's where I met you. When you're undocumented, you find in college a sort of safety. But then as you're getting close to graduation, you're like, what next? I remember 2010, graduated college. Then next thing you know, I see this photo on my Facebook feed. Mo, Yahaira, Lisbeth, Tanya, and Raul. And they're like sitting down in Senator McCain's office. They're wearing caps and gowns. And they're like, if you don't support the DREAM Act, we're not gonna leave. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck are they doing? They're gonna get their ass arrested. They're gonna get deported. And I couldn't help but be moved by that. They changed the entire narrative of what to do when you're an undocumented immigrant, trying to make change. Seeing this image, I just started drawing. One of the first images that I created was based off this photograph of Diana Martinez. This image of her was so badass.
Oh, Julio.
Oh, you're recording?
Look at that. Whose is that?
I started making more images of, students getting arrested, cap and gown. And then you and I and Daisy and Fernando started Dreamers Adrift. We were like, let's start making videos. We didn't know how to act. We just had a flip camera.
No budget.
I had some, they were even not real Sharpies, like Sharpie brand. They were freaking 99-cent store Sharpies.
Yeah, man, I remember making that. We had the butcher paper on the wall.
You were like, Julio, think big. And I was like, dude, I'm trying here.
And I remember that piece was specifically for the DREAM Act. We were going after all the bleeding heart liberals to really support us, good dreamers.
We thought that we had it in the bag, and guess what? Didn't pass. 2011, all this like SB 1070 copycat laws start, popping up all around, the South. And my hat goes off to them because they were holding ground and they were like, nope.
Remember, this is around that time that we flew in the plane for the very first time.
I didn't like the plane, like from LAX to over here. I've said it that many times, right? I said it so many times. Everybody's like giggling at me because I said that so many times.
I was so scared.
Why didn't you like the plane, man?
Because it shook so much. It was like shaking. Huh?
I'd never been on a plane. I remember walking, with my Mexican passport. And I was like, we're gonna go where? My art has taken me to different parts of the country. Maybe more places that some citizens have seen. We flew to Memphis, Tennessee. I came as an artist. So I remember I was like, Jesus, let's make caricature of everybody. We ended up doing a whole installation. Like I was drawing people. I was just like drawing. We were like playing with this idea of a wall, right? So we made like a wall of dreams. I tried to start making art that was inclusive of our parents. One image that I constantly share is this image that I came up with the help of my dear friend Nancy Mesa. And it was based off this photograph that we took in 1995 when we first moved to the US. My parents are responsible and courageous. That's why I'm here.
That's actually one of my favorite pieces of yours.
There was talk around a version of the DREAM Act which shows the military component of it and not the college part of it. And I was like, fuck you. You're not gonna make me go to war, join the military for papers? No, ma'am. The UndocuQueer series, I think, is a series that a lot of people know me for. It was my homage to my fellow UndocuQueers. It was my need to make sure that people knew who the fuck was doing the work. It was the queers. One of the things that I love about us is that we're fucking hilarious. Imagine a drag queen and a bear at the border, like lifting, and it's like, coming in, girl, like anybody's welcome to this country, right? Like imagining, what do we want aside from the nose? What do we want aside from making art that is constantly sad and constantly reminding people that we suffer? I started, develop myself more as an artist. I started including a little more of myself. This idea of being able to like travel free, being able to imagine a place where I didn't give a fuck about borders and I can go anywhere in the world. I remember, around 2015, there was a boycott of one of the Star Wars movie because, there was a black actor and a female lead, and people were like, oh my God, PC culture, how dare you, you're stealing our culture. And I was like, dude, I'm literally gonna steal your culture. And I made this series called POC TV Takeover, and I recreated some of my favorite shows, and I made them into people of color. 2018 was the year that the first gay man I ever met passed away. I think my tío Chicho really paved the way within my family to even have the conversation around queerness. My tío really made a mark in my life. My uncle was undocumented and queer in the late 80s, early 90s. Very open about being positive. He went too soon. My tía sent me this package and it was full of photographs of my tío. And I've been making a lot of art around that, and I want to honor that queer legacy that I have within my own family. From where I started doing work in 2010 to the end of this decade now, initially some of the message has been, I want to be a lawyer, I'm a good immigrant, to where now I'm just like, can I just sit down? Can I have a drink? In this piece that I made, I'm like, I just want to enjoy life and try to go at my own pace. One of the reasons why we ended up in this country was because my sister was sick. She needed a kidney transplant, and all these years of her taking medication, her body is taken a toll. And so it's scary to know that your sister during a pandemic is in and out of hospital. She's not here to enjoy this with me. She's in the hospital bed. I wore a scarf at the show because I take my family wherever I go.
My sister made this, I brought it with me.
The reason why I do this, the reason why I work hard and I never say no to work is because of my family. Closing this year with this project, I'm hopeful for what 2021 brings. I hope that we become better people with each other and try to take care of each other. I continue to work from a place of love and hope.
10 years ago, December 2010, the DREAM Act stalled in the Senate, and we all got thrown into a wild ride that's taken both Julio and I to damn near all 50 states, working with and meeting some incredible, powerful, and beautiful people, many who've ended up in Julio's work or in front of my camera. 2021 will be 20 years since the DREAM Act was first introduced into Congress. 20 years of waiting, but 10 years out of the shadows. So how do I feel? Closing off a whole decade of art, work, growth, actions, and collaborations, standing before Julio's piece in the Smithsonian? I think that smile says it all.